definitely getting flagged. What do we call that? Makeup sex?
Grudge Fudge.
Ben and Jerry's Grudge Fudge now with extra nuts.
Grudge Fudge is
and corn.
Grudge Fudge is...
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Riffs and
Rhythms podcast.
How you doing, Paul?
Doing good, man.
I'm Kevin McLaughlin, and this is
He already said my name, but I'll say it again. Paul Robertson.
Rum Paul.
Rum Paul?
Rum Paul.
Yeah, I noticed you, the blues class, you gave me a little placard. I felt all special until I read what it said, and I was like, motherfucker.
So we're starting a whole trend here, and he's the rumfluencer, and we've made up a logo for Paul, and it's a bright RU and a little teeny weeny M and a big bright Paul. He's Rum Paul.
That's right.
Nice.
So welcome back here. So I got something to tell you.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what it is.
I was performing on a stage recently.
I was there. I saw it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Was that the same one you're talking about?
Yes, and I had an unfortunate incident that I had to stare at everyone's asses the whole.
Well, that's what drummers
song.
are for.
That's why I'm like, thank God it was only one song.
That's why they invented drum risers.
But yeah, so that was a great event there. It was your family gathering, 5,000 party there at Terra Firmata. It was good to see a lot of folks there. We had some big name guns
celebrity
come out.
people sitting in.
That's right, like Mike Farrow. I mean, wait, he's a celebrity? Wait, I mean,
no, he's not.
No, he's not.
But Mike did a good job. I was impressed. He actually can play. I didn't.
Mike, I told him when we took a little break there, and I said. I must have missed. I missed it.
He can. He actually can play.
He started to say, I thought he was full of shit.
Well, I've heard him play, and it's one thing. Well, let me explain. I've met a lot of people who can play really well by themselves, but you put them in a group setting, and then they're useless. And it happens to a lot of solo artists. If you've never played with anybody, or if it's been too long since you've played with anybody, it becomes very difficult to meld into a group situation. And Mike did a good job.
Yeah. No, I think I've told him before. It's like, and I asked him that night was, when are you putting a band together? Because I'm like, I think you strive.
He's got it to put a band together.
Yeah, I think he enjoyed it, and again, it gave you a lot of compliments there. And he said, did he? Like a full band?
Kinda. He had one that was kinda. It was still sort of him with a band, if you know what I mean. Not a band.
Yeah,
it was
that's
still
what
his act with a band.
Yeah, that's what he said. He
it
just
was
wants
Sunken
to join.
Treasure.
He needs to start a quartet and call it Mike 4.0.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly how
But this is a good segue because we also, among the celebrities who performed at that event, were Bethany Lynn.
That's right. Yeah. So,
and we are happy enough that, or let's see, what am I trying to say?
Shucks.
We're really happy that you're on the podcast, Bethany. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you
Thanks
doing,
for
by the
having
way?
me. I'm doing great. Doing fantastic.
So I was impressed with you as well. You played great. I've seen you do a great job performing solo.
Yeah, I was a little worried.
Band, I was proud of you. We Freya and Howie did that Chris Staplegun song, and you were like, I know that one, and you launched right into it. Bam! Strong. It was good.
Chris Staplegun.
Yeah, that's what I call him.
Yeah, well, I know that one. I do that one sometimes.
Yeah, I figured that was part of your act.
No,
you played
it was fun. I was like, ooh, like, this is cool. I never get to play backup, so it was like,
it's a
kinda
different
fun to,
thing.
like, not be the star all the time.
Yeah, it is a totally different experience. It's a lot lighter duty.
It is. I was, good thing too. And like playing with a band is so much easier than playing solo too, because it's like.
Yeah, because you can stare at the bass player when you make a mistake.
I
And
can
everybody
also
thinks
drink
that they
too,
did it.
and I'm not like, I'm not like
Right?
out of my mind losing it, and I have to work less hard.
It is a lot less work when you spread it out among multiple people. So yeah, that was a fun day.
It was a great time. It was good.
So who else did we have up there? We had Shepard and Green. Jeff Shepard and Linda Green came up and did some stuff. Freya Neal and Howie Neal came up and played.
You had
We had Jeff Medina, not the funky cold one, but Jeff from Who does he play with?
The Commodores.
The Commodores.
That's
yeah,
right, man.
The guitar player for the Commodores.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That was the guy with the hat.
I think I've heard about him. I don't know if I've ever seen him, but I've definitely heard about him.
Yeah, he lives around town, I think.
Now that after I've seen him there that night, I remember seeing him perform at Double Roads quite a few years back when they were doing a Sunday blues jam.
Wait.
thing.
You're already mispronouncing your words. Have you been drinking on the job again?
I have not, officer.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're.
Here,
cup is
cheers. Yes,
Still full.
I already had a refill because there was a pre-podcast going on before our podcast actually started. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. I got the gift for gab.
well,
That's a good thing. We need help around here.
I know.
We keep talking about the opening that we have that even Brad doesn't even want to do because he bailed on us tonight.
Because it's not bougie enough.
It
Yeah,
is not
we
yet.
had-
This place ain't bougie.
We need to have a pool to see how long it takes before Paul mentions his man crush,
Yeah.
Brad Brock.
Again, recognizing again. I try to tell you about self-promoting on
He's
our
a
show. I'm
married
like,
man.
I keep asking.
so is Paul.
I keep asking. I said, "Where is all your swag? Where's all your self-promotional stuff? This is what the show is for,
Right
man."
here, the most important part of the Kevin McLaughlin merchandise arsenal is the 2-ounce shot glass. It's not those girly ass little 1-ounce shot glasses. It's a full Irishman size shot glass.
I could see the infomercial for the Kevin McLaughlin shot bin. It says, "Hi, I just left AA, and I don't normally drink, but when I do, I use the Kevin McLaughlin shot glass."
Yes, I don't normally do shots unless I'm awake, but when I do it in a Kevin McLaughlin band shot
Yeah.
glass.
Hi, I'm selling these shot glasses to pay off my DUI.
Oh, we got a clip.
Cha-ching.
That's a clip. Yeah, we're clipping
That's
that.
a
Yeah,
good one.
That's a good. You'll be TikTok famous reels on that one. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go. So,
yeah, okay,
so
that's
actually, yeah, we again we'll roll back here. Yes. So to your point, Mr. McLaughlin, yeah, I did not give a reference there, shout out there. So thanks again for tuning into the podcast here. You're listening on YouTube and also on Apple Podcast there. Thanks for tuning in. Check out our Patreon page there. Got to get all the necessary business out of the way to tell people to support. And also, you've already heard from our man behind. I was going to say behind the camera, but there is no camera.
Behind
for
the
him.
scenes,
Behind the scene, Mr.
In
Ghost,
his-
the Ghost in the Ox.
That's me.
ghost-like position.
Hi. That's right.
Devin.
That's right. I told him I upgraded him a little. He's got a little quarter banner now at the bottom of the screen, like Brad does now. So
I know. What we need to
Wow, I'm
do.
brought up. I'm in the same conversation as Brad. That's crazy.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, man. Yeah.
Brad's going to be so excited that y'all are talking about him so much.
Oh, I know.
Nice.
He's
gonna be
used to
like-
it. No, he's used to it.
He's
No,
used to
yeah.
it.
We
Hey,
talk about him
he's got a big head
too
right now
much.
because he got 1,000 subscribers. He hit 1,000 subscribers finally. So that's yeah.
I
He's
love
all-
his podcast though. Like, they're
Isn't it
just-
great?
They're just so much fun. too.
Speaking of Brad, my first 1,000 view video was with him in it, with you guys and him.
That's true. Wow.
Yeah.
You're
I was,
welcome.
So, yeah.
I was just telling them about the shot collar one where nobody else wanted to do it, but I really just wanted to play trivia. I think I was like, I don't really care. It'd
Yeah.
be fun to like hang out and play trivia.
So yeah, so you're a podcast pro. So this isn't a first time for you.
No,
so yeah, you've
no.
been on the.
I've done it a couple times now. I think I enjoy it. I love to talk. So
Okay.
So speaking of
yapper.
loving to talk, Bethany Lynn,
Yeah.
extraordinary performer from the Treasure Coast. Now you've recently spent some time in Nashville. You got a lot going on with your music career. Fill us in on what your act is all about and what you're doing with your musical career.
Well, this is kind of a funny question because I think over the summer I really I lost it. I was just like, that's it. I'm done. I went like this and I quit all my shows. I canceled all my shows.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, well, I kept a few. I didn't want to totally blow people over, but I was like, all right, after this month, I'm not booking anymore, and I canceled shows with one of my agents because I was just ticked off, just irritated with all the bull in the business, and some other things happened. My truck got keyed, and one of the places that I played at, so yeah. And then after that, I was I was banned from there for some reason. I don't know. anyways,
I think you're leaving part of this story out, but that's okay.
There's
Keep
a
going.
really long
You get
story.
keyed and then you get banned? That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a really long story to go with it.
Hey,
I'll tell it.
We don't have
unnamed.
the time
Yeah, later.
frame on this podcast. We got to fill a lot of time. So
Yeah, so I don't know. I played a show. It was really, really hot. It was outside at a venue, a popular venue, and well, I wouldn't really say popular, but
Name drop it.
nah, I'm not gonna name drop.
it was a place.
Yeah, it was a
When,
place.
what was the date you played it? No one will ever figure out where it is.
I don't even
Track back.
remember.
Oh, come on.
I don't
Come on,
even
man.
remember.
People on the internet love to sleuth things all the
I
time.
know they can sleuth it if they
Right.
want
Yeah.
because I think I did say something, but
Was this the
I-
place that you told me that there was something?
probably yeah.
Okay.
Well, not no,
No,
maybe
not that
one. But it was
another thing.
Yeah, it was really hot that day, like 110. Like it was like a really really hot day, and I was I'm drinking beer, I'm drinking water, and I'm like make sure you drink like a water in between your beer because it's hot out here, and I was like it was the kind of heat where you're like people would literally be dropping dead if they were outside there because there's like no shade or anything.
And people
Everyone's just, like,
survived
out
the
in
show
sun.
outdoors?
There was no one there because who the hell is going to sit outside in the sun when it's 110 degrees out?
Coachella.
So,
Burning Man.
I don't know. Some guy was like, "Oh, I'm drinking vodka," and I'm like, "That works too. Like, make sure there's ice in it." And like, I'm just like making jokes and like, I was playing and. I remember somebody like requested Wagon Wheel. They're like, "I'll give you $100 if you can play Wagon Wheel." And I was like, "All right, sure, like $100." I started playing it, and I was like, I was like, I haven't played this song in a while because that's $100 song for me. And I was like, I can't really remember the words, so I like started off with the wrong words, and I was like, okay, hold on, let me like start this over again. Well, the owner and the manager like messaged the agent and like went off and was like, "Oh, this girl, like she's terrible. She can't remember her words. She's telling everyone not to drink and to drink water." And she's just so awful. And she plays all this slow music and like nobody's into it, which was like so not true because there were maybe 5 people in the restaurant and like those 5 people were like so into it. So I was like, this is kind of weird. So I kind of like came back to the agent. I was like, that's not really my experience. They told me I was rude to the bartender too, which I will never be rude to a bartender. Like I've worked in the service industry. That is definitely not me. So I don't know who you're talking about, but that wasn't me. And I just tried to like kind of explain myself and be like, I'm really surprised. And the agent was like, yeah, I'm really surprised too because like I book you at a lot of places and I've never had like any complaints or issues. And I'm like, don't you think that should maybe tell you something about this venue? And like, because like I've never had an issue. So I'm like, what's going on here? Well, anyways, after I left, I came I went to the bar, but I went like across the street to the bar. It wasn't like I went out anywhere else. But like I got home and the next day later I noticed like my truck, the whole side of it was keyed. The whole passenger side from headlight to tail light.
Jeez.
And I'm like, all right, like I didn't even really talk to anyone at the bar.
Is it a Cybertruck?
Like, no.
Okay.
No, it's a really nice Tacoma, and that somebody hit and run it like a couple months before, so that's why I was already like so ticked off. But my mom and I were like trying to figure out who the heck that I pissed off because I'm a pretty chill person. Like if you have issues with me, I'll just like not engage. But yeah, I think it was the bartender there because.
That makes
crazy.
sense.
Let me ask. So, this alleged that's been cast upon you from the others.
The what?
The alleged.
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 I thought you were going to call her a legend.
Allegation,
Well, yeah,
maybe?
she's a legend.
Allegation?
She's a legend. Yeah.
Thanks.
Paul's medicine has worn off. He
Yeah.
didn't bring
So-
his pill box with him tonight.
Allegedly.
There we go.
Allegation.
It's English. We're using. Okay.
Anyway, so
It's gonna be a long episode.
now that you made me forget what the hell I was going to say now. So
Allegedly.
Anyway, allegedly. So the bartender that supposedly you had issues with,
Yeah,
male, female.
female.
Well, there you go. Her boyfriend was looking at you.
Yeah. I don't.
That's why.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it. Right there. The guy she likes was looking at you, and she got you booted.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Case solved. There we go. All right, yeah. Welcome back to...
I've had something similar happen to me.
That shit was so awful. I like went home and I cried. I freaked out. I was like, what the hell? Like, because, you know, my truck's not even paid off yet. So the fact that like somebody backed into it in a parking lot and hit and run it and like walked away and like it was some serious damage on there
Really?
too. Yeah, like some sort of construction truck or something because it was white and it was boxy. Like where it hit.
Did you see it happen?
No. And I tried to do like insurance and everything, and they were like, "Well, you didn't have like enough footage or something to like for us to cover this. Like we think this is fraud." And I'm just like, "What the?" And I just don't have the fucking patience to dispute all that shit. Like
That sucks.
I just don't care.
So now your new truck is all janky because of other people.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a Toyota, so like regardless of what's wrong with it, you know, like it's not like anything. You know, it was a tiny bump. It's not like there's anything like seriously ruined. But
right now, you probably could resell that.
I could resell
and
it.
it probably is worth more now than with all the tariffs.
And honestly, I'd probably just get another Tacoma, but I get like the 4x4. But yeah, I don't know. Right now, it's almost paid off.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that inspired you to like quit the business altogether.
Yeah, I just got so freaking fed up, man. I was just like, these agents don't have my back. Like,
You've got
what's the
Asians
point?
working for you?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, they work very hard. Sorry.
You weren't supposed to do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
you know, it's because all the tariffs, they had to like move
Yeah.
everything here. So now all the Chinese people are working for me.
I'm going to come.
He's very excited about that.
No, I'm just kidding. But
Too soon.
I don't even remember what I was on there.
Yeah.
You were
what,
on.
what-
the
yeah,
fact
what are
that
you on?
You quit the industry, but
Oh yeah, I got
Now-
really irritated because you pay these booking agents like a fee, like you pay them a fee for booking you, and I'm like, well, what's the point? Like if you're just gonna take my money and then like not have my back, or like you can just cancel my shows whenever you want, like there's no reimbursement for me or like nothing to just be like, oh, you know. So I'm just like, what's the point? And I got really fed up with it. So then I was doing yacht detailing for a little bit. And fuck that shit. That's actually the reason why I got this brace, because my carpal tunnel started really, really bad. So this happened like, I got this job, and then we had that little hurricane with all the tornadoes and storms and stuff. And
yeah, that was fairly epic.
yeah, and all the power was out everywhere that we were working. So the lady that I worked for, well, I don't want to say lady because she's like younger than me, but I'm like, she's like, okay, we're going to wax this entire hole by hand because we can't use our buffers. And I'm just like, that's a big boat. Like, you want me to do that whole thing by hand?
Do you like
And
do
I
it in a
did.
little raft, or is it out of the water, or how do you do that?
It's sometimes they're in boat yards, sometimes they're on lifts in their property, but like the ones that we do like waxing on, like if we wax a hole, they're usually in like a boat yard or something.
So how did you injure your hand? Was it
Just
waxing?
all this waxing, man.
Was it waxing on
Was
or
it?
off?
Yeah, was it?
It was both.
Okay, I wasn't
Actually,
sure.
the off probably
You
the
didn't-
off wasn't as bad.
Mr.
The
Miyagi
on
didn't
was-
prep you well enough.
No.
The
yeah.
on was rough, man.
Yeah.
The on was
Good,
rough.
good thing that she didn't make you paint the fence.
Yeah, so I quit that job too because I was just like, fuck this shit. I'm not making enough money for all this bull. My hand was so messed up. And now I've just been dealing with carpal tunnel. Who knows? I might never be able to play again. I don't know. I
you
woke
played
up
great
the other day and it was really bad.
I have been managing carpal tunnel for my whole life. What do you want to know? I know all of it.
I don't know. I want to know how to get the smell of salon paws off. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
What?
No, he's a Ben Gay guy.
What is salon
gayer.
pause? Salon pause sounds like you're being fondled while you're getting your hair done.
Salon. I think Ben Gay sounds a little bit worse.
Yeah, that's just for old people. I
Did
don't
she
know.
make a salon pause at you?
Salon pause. That's like being
That sounds like a
touched
dog groomer.
inappropriately while you're getting your hair cut.
Salon pause.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Do not come.
So do you think? So you're wearing your brace, right?
Yeah.
And so this was probably what your time frame. You did the boats was about a year ago, but now you did play. Was
yeah.
Sunday at this show? Was that the first time in a while that you'd play guitar?
No, I've been playing again. So after I quit the yacht detailing job, I was like, okay, well, like I have to get a job. Like I have to start singing again. I really didn't want to, but I was like, all right, I'm just gonna like kind of do more of these like stupid solo gigs that I hate and just play them and make money and like whatever. Like I don't care anymore. And like for a while it was just like make money, don't care, like whatever. And you know, in a way I kind of like do feel like that because I don't know, I've been doing this for like 10 years and it's taken so much out of me because I mean, I just wanted it so bad. Like I wanted to be famous. I wanted to do the tours. I wanted to do everything that like I was willing to just like do whatever to get there. Like throw my friends under the bus. Like, you know, I was willing to just like, I don't do whatever. Like, and it just consumed me. And I'm just like, it got to a point where it was hard for me to go out and enjoy other people's success. Like I couldn't go out to concerts and shows and I couldn't go out to my friends' shows because I'd just be like pissed off that I wasn't doing that. And I think I had to really take a step back from all that and be like, all right, you know what? Like it's a lot of it has been accepting that like I won't be famous.
Well, you still got plenty of time.
And like that's the thing is like we don't really know, but the fact that I've accepted that part of it, that it's like that might not be my path, and like there might be something else going on, has opened me up for like so many other great opportunities where I can actually enjoy music again. Like I've been playing for the nursing home, I've been doing the memory unit, and you know, playing for the nursing home there. And
you can play the same song over and over again. They'll never know.
The memory unit. No, you know what's crazy though is those people make me so nervous.
Do they really?
They do because they listen and they know who I am. Like, you know how good you have to be for somebody who like doesn't remember their kids' names or like what their kids look like for them to remember you after like 2 weeks and like know the
And
songs
they remember
that you
you.
sang. They remember me, and it's like
That's
crazy.
awesome.
It's crazy.
You're memorable, clearly. Even Alzheimer's patients remember Bethany Lynn.
But they
So you will be famous.
Do you have a merch table at this place?
no.
You should.
I know. I should.
I know.
They're
Yes.
so funny though. They gas me the fuck up. They're like, "You're so beautiful," and like, "You're so talented," and then all the old men who like don't talk to anyone. Because I got a thing. Like I got a thing with old men. Like they love me. Like old men like flock to me like flies on shit. It's so funny. No. I mean like.
No, Paul is trying
Like
not
even
to.
like the old. Like the
He's gonna make
80-year-old
Brad jealous.
grumpy old men that don't talk to anyone, they like light up when they see me.
Yeah, you're describing
funny.
Kevin to a T here. Grumpy old men.
But yeah, it was,
Well, you're awesome.
but
How
yeah,
could they not?
Yeah.
yeah. But they you know they come prepared. They come with their like requests and stuff. They're like, okay, we want to hear Johnny Cash. We want to hear like they have all these songs that they want. So I'm
so
like,
you gotta-
I gotta come
There
prepared
you
when
go.
I play here.
You should be
like,
touring
Yes.
retirement homes.
What you need to do
Yeah.
is you need to have you got a Bethany Lynn logo and have it like embroidered on the pocket of scrubs, and then sell them at the CNA schools.
That's right.
So that when they get their job in the home, everybody will be ready for
Oh,
it.
they're too cute.
So let me ask you then: is with that, it's you feel fulfilled when you do this?
Yeah. I knew when I first like signed up for it, I was like, oh, I'm really going to enjoy this, but it's like I enjoy it way more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Because too, there's like people in the memory unit that, you know, they're not really that far off. Like they still got a lot going on up there, you know, and they have to sit in these these buildings with these people who like
And you make their
have
day,
no
their
fucking
week, their
idea
whatever,
what's going
right?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I come there early and I sit there and I have conversations with them, they're just like, you made my whole week. Like, because they don't have many people to just sit and talk to. And they're not a generation like my generation where they're used to being like secluded and not around other people. Like my generation is kind of used to it where we're really good at being alone, but
Right.
they're not, you
Yeah.
know? And so it's so much fun.
Bethany, that's something that it's just recently again. As we've talked here, I've been trying to figure out how to get back into performing, playing, gigging, jamming, whatever it may be.
Well, let me tell you this:
Yeah.
don't play at the old folks' home because they won't let you out.
Well, they may actually think I'm like an extra patient there, right?
That's what I'm saying. They'll be like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Robertson, but that's not even your
Bethany
name."
will show up and say, "Wait a minute,
They'll be like,
what are you doing here?"
Did you not take your meds today?
Yes, we know you're a drummer. Come right this way.
But I've thought about that something recently. It's like I see a lot of people do things at nursing homes, or they do a lot of percussion stuff where they get these elderly folks getting out there moving and
Oh, it's
playing
great.
a little drum circle kind of thing or something.
They go more wild than like most of the bars I play at. Like
Yeah.
the old people, they get up and dance. They can't even walk, and they get up and dance. Like
Yeah.
it's insane.
But I wondered,
Music is medicine.
yes,
It really is.
And I think though is that maybe that that generation we've already been talking about generations is the baby boomers, which is probably what this is. There's so much music for the boomers. I mean, all these bands that we always talk about, the legendary bands, the Beatles, Stones,
That was
or
the top 40 for them.
all of that, Elvis, these things, and it's like, music was because they didn't have the internet, they didn't have TV really
Yeah.
when growing up. Music was the thing, and but that's really cool.
Yeah, my dad always says it blows his mind whenever he sees old people like up and dancing and like to rock and roll. He's like, this is so fucking crazy.
So let me
Because
ask.
he's like, it's like Jimi Hendrix, and they're like, like it's so funny.
So let me ask you. So you reminded me asking is how old's your dad?
Oh geez, he's 60.
A fatherly age.
I want to say he's 66 or
Okay, all right. So
67, somewhere around there.
So the reason why I ask is because I think like here in Abacoa, here in Jupiter, they do a monthly tribute band show, and the last one we went to, we drove past it. It was our good friend. Why am I drawing a blank? Mr. Kelly.
Not that good of a friend.
Kevin Kelly with
Thank
the
you.
Eagles
Yeah.
tribute band called
The long run.
The Long Run.
Yeah, the long run. And we drove past the amphitheater area, and I said, holy shit, is everybody in Jupiter here? And no joke, it was very, just like you're talking about.
that amphitheater's crazy.
Yeah,
Like, there's so many people that go there.
Yeah, it's a good
And
venue.
Bethany, right? The old people. I said, man, there's going to be a lot of people hitting up the Advil or popping blue pills tonight because, and again, or they're standing right in front of the speaker because they have hearing aids they can turn off, right? Because they're right. I was like,
Gonna grab
oh.
my baby, gonna hold him tight, gonna get some afternoon delight.
And I
Ooh,
I
I've
told
heard that song in forever.
and I told her she didn't have to perform in our show. We don't make people be trained monkeys.
Hey, my hand's
yeah,
been out of commission, so
Yeah.
I gotta sing. That's my only other option.
Yeah. Devin has the same problem.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll never.
Yeah, Manuela Manos has been worn to the bone over there.
She works hard.
Yeah. Has she?
He said hate making.
Does she like her?
He's
Does she like her
making
twin? Does she like her twin sister?
Oh,
Jill?
They get along. Yeah, they get along.
Leftina.
Lefty.
So all right. So let's go here. So Bethany, right? So I love that. I love the story. I mean, again, I'm glad to see that there's, maybe it's not up on a stage in front of 20,000 people, but there's a resonance of something that you're doing for others that is very soulful, that you fills your
And
heart.
I just joined my church choir, so I'm excited about that.
Okay.
I'm Catholic, so and this church is really cool. They do like a lot of stuff in Latin, and everything sounds like like Gregorian chanty, and like
That's cool.
they're the women that sing in the choir. They have like these super opera voices, and I'm just like, oh,
Which
I can't
one?
wait to
Which
join
one is
these.
that? I should go.
St. Bernadette's.
St. Bernadette's in
and
St.
Port
Lucie West.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there. That's a beautiful
It's
church.
a beautiful church. It's
very white.
They call me every year on my birthday.
Like every surface is
It
painted
is
white.
pretty white.
Oh, I thought you were
It's a
describing the
church.
congregation.
No, it's actually pretty.
No, it's like
pretty
painted-
Latina, actually.
If there was a
But, I
if there
mean-
was a color called Port St. Lucie drywall white, that's what
I make jokes all the time. I'm like,
That's what
I
colors
should have
painted.
been born Latina the way like I love Mexican food and the Catholic Church and country stuff.
yeah, cool.
I'm like, yeah.
So speaking of country stuff, that is what we're getting to. If those of you that don't know you, right, is what is your type of genre, your music that you perform and or write your original stuff?
Okay. I guess the stuff that I sing is mostly like classic country, outlaw country, some of that honky tonk type stuff. I do some bluegrass and, a lot of classic rock, southern rock. And then like I'll throw in some pop songs or whatever, maybe, whatever I'm feeling, I guess. As far as writing goes, I think I tend to write more in like a country Americana style.
Okay.
Even like some of my songs are not I don't really think they'd be classified as country, but like I could hear like Chris Stapleton singing them or something. But so like somebody probably would consider that country, but to me I'm more like, it's like kind of Americana, like maybe even like a little bit more rocky, but I'm kind of a genre snob because with country music it's like anything can be labeled as country now.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got we've got
know?
we're going to ask her this trigger question then.
Oh, there's a trigger question?
Oh yeah, we've already talked about it in the previous on the podcast about the recent Grammys.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you watch the Grammys?
I watched. Well, I didn't really watch it, but I've seen some stuff.
So are you aware of who won this year's Grammy Award for?
Yeah,
Best
Beyonce.
country album? Yeah. How do you feel about Beyonce putting on a cowboy hat and all of a sudden she's got the best country album in the country?
Well,
Oh,
you don't
there's
wanna-
a little bit of trepidation
no,
here.
No,
Okay,
you don't want to
okay,
hear what I
okay.
have to say.
Yes,
about
we
Beyonce.
do.
Yeah, we do. That's why we
Yes,
asked
we
it.
do.
Okay, she's part of the Illuminati and she worships
Oh,
Satan. So,
okay.
like, that's the only reason why she gets all these like little things, and that's why everyone has to thank her whenever they win something. They're like, and I want to thank Beyonce because there's like this whole Illuminati thing, and there's this whole like devil worshiping thing where you have to like give people credit and all this stuff. It's just like when you deceive people and you do all these like spells and stuff, like you have to tell people what you're doing before you do it, because or else it like won't be like safe to do it or whatever. And like y'all
Okay, no, yeah, I did not see that.
that's why
She's
they
cooking.
put
Let
it-
her cook.
they put it in
Come on, keep going.
commercials and they put it in things, and like they'll basically like show you exactly what it is. Like that's why all these stars, they'll do like this thing where they cover one eye and like all this Illuminati stuff, like Lady Gaga, and like, oh, we're gonna do this, and they'll like go on Saturday Night Live and like do their little like Satan worshiping skits, and they'll be like, oh, it's just a skit, isn't it so funny? And it's like, I guess maybe for you guys.
Devin, I found your next guest for your show, man. Oh, you guys are
Oh,
going to
yeah.
deep
But see,
dive.
more importantly, is at the Super Bowl halftime when it was Beyonce versus Shakira, who shook it better?
Oh, Shakira can shake it.
Oh, yeah.
Shakira is like,
Yeah, Shakira
ooh,
was the
those
clear
hips
winner.
don't
on
lie.
that. Yeah.
Those hips don't lie,
They
man.
don't.
You can tell that Shakira can shake it because nobody can listen to her music without shaking it. Like literally, I see people just in the store randomly, just like, my hips don't lie. Like it's so funny.
I agree.
And sometimes
Or like, forever.
and sometimes those are the people that have Parkinson's.
It's true. Or like my dad, where he's got like the tremors. Like you just get old and you just shake.
Yeah. It's because you're remembering a song.
So, all
Shout
right.
out Michael J. Fox.
But speaking of the Grammys, though, Sierra Farrell won a few Grammys, and she's a really good up and coming country Americana artist. Pretty underground. I've met her a few times. She's super sweet. Like one of the sweetest people I met. Tiny girl, like my size. She wears these like super eccentric outfits and she goes out and stuff. And I talked to her a little bit about music, like before I really knew who she was. Like I've heard of her name, but like she's friends with an old friend of mine from Nashville, so that's like how I was introduced.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
We shared a couple joints a few times.
There you
She's
go.
very sweet. She's a really good
That will
person.
inspire
But
some deep conversation.
She has some next level talent. Like this girl is amazing. Like she just has the most beautiful voice I've ever heard, and she's so good live. I mean, I've heard her come up at like Underdog or Honky Tonk Tuesday, like just pop up there, and people will get her up because she's so amazing. But she plays guitar and fiddle, and her songs are just so good, and it's just that really good songwriting and like really, like her songs, they have like a really clear mix where it sounds like old country music where it's just like guitar and a banjo and a fiddle. And it's just so good. So I was glad to see her get some recognition.
Yeah,
No drums
She
on those
deserves
songs,
it.
right? We should review one of them.
Well, I'm sure there are. I'm sure
There's still
there
rhythm.
are on some of them,
somewhere.
but, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What was her name again?
Sierra Farrell.
Sierra Farrell.
Okay. All right. We'll have to check that out.
She's
then.
very good.
Okay.
One of my favorites right now that are like out there doing their thing.
So, have you set up a band for yourself? Like, do you do strictly solo stuff, or do you ever play band shows?
So I'm in a band, well, not really a band, but I'm in a duo right now called Hot Toddy with Amanda Cardi from Low Ground. She plays upright bass. So we've been really, really trying to get like that third piece or maybe even a fourth piece because we want to do some shows and bigger events. And it's really hard to like, yeah, but we want to find, so.
Non-old people. That's
No,
okay. You can say
I'm
it.
saying like the sound. No. It's
Younger.
not. We have nothing against old people. I'm saying the sound is, we're looking for somebody who's more of like a utility player that can play like flat picking, like guitar, and maybe do another instrument like banjo or mandolin or fiddle or something like
Okay.
that. So
That sounds like Mike Farrow.
It does. That
He
would
just
be.
had Ricky Skaggs sign his mandolin.
Oh, really? I didn't know he played mandolin.
I didn't either. I know he owns one.
Did you know that, Devin?
I did
I know he
because
owns one.
he wouldn't shut up about it when he bought it.
Oh, okay.
That was I don't
Yeah.
think he played until he bought it.
That would be real. But yeah, seriously though, that would be a really great, a duo.
We've done stuff like at cafe. I'll
Okay.
show up like drunk as hell and be like, "Hey, Mike!" You will be like, "Get up and sing," and I'll be like, "Okay."
She was
how it starts.
she was the instigator to that one more song the other night. She wasn't done. She was like, I want to keep playing. She was ready to keep going.
Being in a band situation when you're not used to it, well, even when you are used to it, is far more powerful than a solo performance
Yeah.
or a duo performance.
Well,
even.
it's
It's
just
an entirely different thing.
It's also just being able to share it with other people and like be in the experience together just makes it so much more fun.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, music
Like-
is making music is like making love. It's way more fun when there are other people doing it with you.
Well, I don't know.
Don't put her on the spot, Kevin. Don't.
She wouldn't know anything about that.
I'm a monogamy kind of girl.
No, that's not what I was referring
Yeah,
to.
well, if that were the case, then I'd be like, we strictly are keeping it duo.
No, what I'm saying is, well, there you go. Yeah,
Oh, I like that touche.
yeah, good one. I never anyway,
Well,
didn't think about that part.
Being in a band is like being in a relationship.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
It is. It is like
It
being married to a whole pile of whiny bitches.
Well, it's what I imagine polygamy is like,
yes, exactly.
and fuck that.
So it's a lot of dealing with things.
Oh boy. So Bethany, we've got a segment here on the show called Tales on the Road. Do you got any interesting stories, gig stories? Anything from Nashville, travels.
I don't have too many crazy Nashville stories. I played a lot of like cool spots in Nashville. trying to think of like some other stories I have other than the getting my car keyed and oh, I have the Blue Point story about how my mom got me banned from Blue Point.
Oh, this sounds good.
So I was playing a show at Blue Point, and the guy who booked me there had booked me for a gig earlier that day, and he was like, "Can you make it to Blue Point?" And I was like, "Well, I might be a couple minutes late starting up, but I can make it. Like, you know, I could do it." And he's like, "All right, that's fine." So he like let the restaurant know that I might be like a little bit late, but that I was coming in to play because it was like a last minute covering thing.
Yeah, they have like 3 bands a day there.
Yeah. Or I'm not sure about anymore, but they
She don't care.
don't care. Don't care. I pull my car through the marina and like up the side there, and I like unload everything, and I'm setting up. I'm already like 15 minutes past, so I'm like, all right, let me just set up and play and just start playing, and I'll move my car next set because they didn't say anything. So I was like, all right, maybe I can get away with it. Well, the guy, I guess, had been yelling at my mom, like the manager was like, "Oh, we need you to move your car." And she's like, "Well, it's not my car, it's my daughter's car, and she's playing right now." And he's like, "Well, if you can, like, get the keys and move it." And she's, like, eating dinner at this moment, too. So she's just like, what the fuck? And my keys are in my purse, like, on the stage. And my mom's like, "I'm not, like, going to stop eating to, like, go through my daughter's bag to find her car keys to move her truck. Like, you can wait, or you can just talk to her and ask her to stop and move it." So this guy kept, like, harassing her. And finally, my mom was just like, "Can you see that I'm, like, eating? Like, I came here and I spent money and I'm, like, trying to enjoy a meal and watch my daughter play. Like, can it frickin' wait, like, a couple minutes or does it have to be now? Because if it has to be now, like, just tell my daughter and she'll go move her car." And the guy goes, "Jesus, lady, calm down." Which, like, I'm, like, thinking, like, oh, God, this is not going to be good. My mom was like, "What the fuck are you, who the fuck are you telling me to fucking calm down, yada, 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 yada." So, like, the next day I get a text like, "Oh, like, Blue Point no longer wants you at our venue or what, at their venue or whatever. Like, they just don't like your music or something." And I'd been playing there for like 3 years, so I was like, I know it's not the music. I know it's that my mom cussed out the manager. But, like, he was being kind of a dick. So
Yeah, no question.
it's just like, chill out, dude. Like, nobody's there. It wasn't like it was like a crazy day either where it was
Everyone
like,
knows the quickest way to get someone to calm down is to tell them to calm
right.
down.
Especially
Right?
a woman.
Yeah.
Right.
That always works.
Works every time.
Like, he is so smooth with women.
Oh, this manager?
A regular charmer.
Yeah, clearly.
All right, yeah.
So that was a funny story. My mom cussing out that person.
Interesting.
And I always get like random letters. I remember one time I was at a show and gosh, I can't even remember what I said, but I was like talking about like, oh, one time I did mushrooms or something, and then some guy gave me like a note and was like, he left his number and he's like, "If you ever want to do mushrooms." And I'm like, yeah, that's not sketchy. Like, don't know who this came from. Like, definitely should call this number and just do mushrooms with this random guy that left. Like, but you get stuff like that all the time where it's like people leave their numbers in a tip jar, and I'm like, how the fuck do you think I'm supposed to know who this is? Like,
I've got a
like, what the?
so
It's like a raffle basket at that point.
Yeah, right?
Like, you start pulling a name out.
It's
Like,
bingo.
it might have been one of yous.
You can't
All
swipe
right.
that left.
Well, I
Yeah,
hope it wasn't this guy. I hope
All right,
it was
let-
this one.
Let me
Yeah,
mix
right.
up all the names in my tip jar to see who I'm taking home tonight. Oh, right, Bob, come on down. Yeah, you're gonna get lucky. So, but yeah, I guess that's a real interesting thing, right? You know, all the local musicians are treading over the same ground and so forth. But I think a lot of people don't. It's just crazy how people treat the performance so differently and such a disrespect.
No, I know exactly
No.
what we're
what,
talking
like
about.
male versus female?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's totally,
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't say it's all that different.
I get a
because-
lot of guys
Yeah.
that are like, "Oh, you can actually play that thing." Like, they say that all the time, and I'm like, "Oh, that was not very nice."
Yeah, right. Yeah, they say that. They say that to
condescending at all.
They say that to Kevin all the time.
No, I was just
But
thinking.
it makes me feel good because at least they think I'm pretty.
Well, there
Because
you
if
go.
I was ugly, they might be like, "Oh, she's
Yeah,
gonna be
at
real
least you
good."
could play that.
You know?
No, but with your
I would look them dead in the eyes and be like, "This isn't playtime. This is work. I'm getting paid right now."
Music was so much better when ugly people could make it.
oh my,
Hot take. I love that. So real.
no, but I know what you go through because sometimes it happens to me. Like I remember I was playing in Jensen Beach, and there was this one crazy lady, and she looked like she had had a rough life.
She from St. Louis, Missouri.
I don't know, but she
Misery?
during the break, she made it clear to me that she has been in prison for a long time, and she was good to go, and she would make it worth my while.
Go.
And I was like, I gotta play.
She's been checked and everything. She's like,
Well,
shit's
she was
good.
going to take out years of frustration on me.
clean.
And I was like,
What
what
a-
Years
I'm not
Yeah,
so
what did
sure.
Devin called that? Was a hate fucking
Yeah,
Right?
it makes
Yeah.
you.
Hate
She wanted to
making.
make hate
Hate
with
making.
me.
hate
She wanted to be some hate making.
Yeah, Kevin, yeah.
I was
What
like, yeah, not so much.
What do we call that? Makeup sex?
Grudge?
Grudge fudge.
Yeah, grudge.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
That was not where I was going.
Fudge?
Grudge.
Yeah.
Fudge.
That's a
What kind of makeup-
That's a new flavor this month at Baskin Robbins.
Grudge.
He's having very special makeup
Yeah,
sex.
grudge fudge.
Fudge.
That's
Ben and
that's-
Jerry's grudge fudge now with
That's-
extra nuts
Grudge fudge is
and corn.
grudge fudge
Yeah.
Grudge fudge is makeup sex, but it's anal.
It's
Yes,
anal, yeah.
yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Really,
Wow, we're-
really hard.
We're having to check that explicit box on this podcast.
Did we really have to explain all that?
Yeah.
Because everybody already knew.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's funny you went to my you went to.
Wait,
It's funny that you went to
rating
me.
on this
We went-
podcast?
what?
Because you were talking about this lady. I was thinking about the lady who accosted me in Tampa.
Oh, right. Yeah. You remember that story? Yeah.
Did we go to you? I didn't realize.
Yes. Oh, my God. So
Well, Paul did.
Tracy,
Somebody accosted
Paul
you?
made it about me.
There was a lady that
Oh, that's
accosted
right,
you
yeah.
in Tampa.
Yeah.
you don't remember the story?
prostitute?
Was she freshly out of prison?
Could have been.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember she was trying to fight Kevin or
Watch
Devin?
out, she might be
No, she wasn't trying to fight
Lorena
me. She was trying to
Bobbitt
fuck me.
Yeah. It's,
type.
She was.
And
You
then she
know?
called me racist.
She
for
might be
declining.
like, I've been out of prison for a really long time, and she's like, for cutting my boyfriend's dick off. But she's like not saying that.
Yeah.
is this Lorena Bobbitt?
Yeah, well, I said
I don't
you
think
gotta
her
watch
name
out
was
for
Lorena.
them.
Okay.
But she signed up on my email list, and she didn't put an email address. She put a phone number.
Oh.
And I was like,
She's like, call me anything you want.
If she was
yeah,
serious,
it was
she would
kind
have
of
put
like
a,
that.
If she was serious, she would have put a Snapchat.
Well, it's hard to.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, she was in prison since
Come on.
before cell phones.
Yeah, she probably was not Snapchatting,
didn't-
trust me.
she
Have you ever
wasn't
seen the
keen
videos
on
of
the-
people like that have served like really long prison sentences that come out in the world and they're like, what the fuck is all this technology?
I knew a guy that happened to.
Yeah, that was this
could
lady.
not
She was like, I don't
imagine.
have a. You can carry phones
guys-
around with you now.
The guy's at Wendy's and he's just like, Dr. Pepper. He's just like shouting at the machine, Dr. Pepper. It's so funny. And it's like, oh, my uncle's having a really hard time adapting to technology since he's been out of prison. So I was like, I never even thought of that. Like, how many, like, I mean, if you think you've been in your prison for like 40 years and you come out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some
holy
screens work when you touch them and some don't.
So there-
Some
there's-
That's gotta
work
be
when you
so-
touch them, some don't.
I think it's
Yeah,
on.
none of the rules are consistent.
Hey Siri, Dr. Pepper.
So on Paramount Plus, there was a show with Sylvester Stallone called Tulsa King, and it's exactly that same premise. He was in prison for like 30 years, missed all the change, the internet, technology, and so forth, and he was in the mafia. It's a mafia kind of thing, and he gets out, and he's like, people are like, "Oh yeah, phones," and he's like, "What is that? Uber?" And they drive by a dispensary, and he goes, "What the hell what did I miss?" And then they send him all to Tulsa.
I bet you he's like,
like
in
when they-
prison for weed
I've been in
too. or
prison
like
for
something
20
like that.
years for
You
selling
come
pot,
out
and they
then
got
you're
it on
like,
the
it's
corner
fucking
now?
legal.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the
It's like when they
fuck?
unthawed Captain America.
Something like that. Yeah.
That sucks,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah,
Can
but it was
you
it's a good show. It's, Tulsa King.
Tulsa
is-
King.
Tulsa King. Yeah, it was Sylvester Stallone, and
All right.
he plays his thing. It's kind of like
I'll watch
it's
it
a good.
one
It's
night
a
when-
Sylvester
Soprano.
the guy.
Sylvester Stallone.
been in prison?
Yeah, he's the main guy. Yeah, he's.
I think I've seen the previews.
yeah,
That's on like it's on a streaming service near you. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I think season 2 is already out. So
I'll watch it when I'm done with Star Wars.
Oh yeah, good luck
8
with
months.
Oh no, we're not going.
Don't
there.
forget all the
Yes.
offshoots, like all of the cartoons and everything else.
I know.
Then you end up last one you watch
Mandalorian
is
or
Star
whatever.
Wars Rebels.
So
I started watching that and I was like, this is just, I'm too in the Star Wars verse. I was like,
to go down that level,
I can just feel the autism. Like, I'm like, this is too much.
Adult
man.
onset autism.
Welcome.
Adult set on. No, it's been there for a while.
In a galaxy far, far away.
It's
a guitar player suddenly
definitely
stricken
broken
with
in
debilitating
autism.
check out Bethany Lynn's new album. Where are you on the spectrum? So Bethany,
cynically depressed.
do you have
good.
a? We got another segment here, real quick. Is called the MVP. Do you have somebody you want to recognize? Shout out somebody who's kind of helped you. Want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out my friend Amanda Cardi in Low Ground. We got this duo going, Hot Toddy, and she's been helping us like get gigs and stuff. And she's a really good bassist, really good singer. So just check her out. Check out her band Low Ground. And yeah, good buddy of mine. So
Okay. Maybe you can drag her on the show one time.
I would love to. Yeah, if she didn't have lessons today, I would have been like, ew. Maybe I'll text him and see if he can come by. Okay. But yeah, she's good people. Good
Cool.
people. Really.
We're constantly having new guests, so have her call us, or we'll call her.
Yeah,
So-
we're both yappers though, so be warned.
We got time
you
to
get
fill.
us
This is a
together and
good
it's
thing.
like
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So this would be cool, right? So part of our thing is like we did last year.
excuse me.
Bethany, was our festival, right? And what we want to try to do is really make commitment that people are connecting with us, we're connecting with musicians. So either through the song reviews that we do or guests who have come in person and sit on the couch and chat, is really try to thread the community in that level. So definitely appreciate you coming to the show. And when we get our information together for the next festival,
We are going to have another Riffs and Rhythms festival
Yes.
at some
Heck yeah.
point. And now that you've been a guest, you'll be on the roster.
Yeah.
yeah,
And maybe somebody will listen and be like, "Oh, I want to join that band." So
Yeah,
if
right,
anyone's
right.
listening and is a picker, like, find me out there. I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, I got to tell you, the way to make the Bethany Lynn band happen is to do things backwards.
Yeah,
Do it all backwards.
I don't know. What you
Book
mean
a
by
bunch.
that.
Here's what I mean by that.
Okay.
Book a bunch of shows as the Bethany Lynn band.
Oh yeah.
Call some musicians and tell them where the shows are, and if
Mm.
they find out if they're free, and then pick some songs to play.
Yeah.
And that way it'll happen.
Yeah.
And it works.
Trying
It's
to
much
find the
more
musicians.
efficient.
No, I know. But I'm just trying to find the musicians who can even make it. So many of them like just don't respond. They're like, "Oh, I'd love to do a project," and then they just like leave you unread. It's like,
Well, if you have gigs
Cool.
and there's money involved, they answer the phone.
Hmm.
That's what makes it happen.
it's sometimes I don't know.
That's the way I did it. That's the way the Kevin McLaughlin band was
Well,
born.
you know what? You're a guy. It's different. It is.
Oh,
That
wow.
could be
Like
true.
everything is
Boom.
so different.
It is way different, and I understand. I have some friends who are female singers. And
Like, I don't even-
I wouldn't want to have to deal with all the extra crap.
I've been
that you
invited
deal
to
with.
like be a lead singer for bands, and then they're just like, you know what? We just don't really want a female vocalist, and that really sucks to hear because it's just like, damn, I didn't think it was something where it was like one or the other. Like I thought you, like, I mean, at least with like instruments and stuff, usually like people don't really care too much whether like your drummer is a girl or a guy or your bassist is a girl or a guy or whatever. But when it comes to like being a front person, it's like some people just want the dude and some people want the girl. And
I don't know how that's possible because to me, what I would see is such the diverse of is that if you have a lead male and female singer, the range is huge. Then if you put keys,
Yeah, but
a
Bethany
keys player-
Lynn is
But if it's-
she's a
yeah.
true artist.
No,
She's-
yeah. No.
You need
a
to
lot
just
of
be
the
a
thing
band
is,
leader and
when
tell
you're
them I'm
when
paying
you're
you.
really
Shut up.
good, people don't want to share the stage with you because it's like they
Yeah,
get
there's an ego thing.
weird about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's why I'm saying that's why it works for me because my band loves me exactly as much as I pay them to, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because if one of them turns out to be intolerably jerky, I just get a different one.
I think it's like easier too when you have like an all male band too, because you can really bring in that female following. And when you get a bar full of like women who are just drunk and having a good time, guys are going to show up and they're going to want to be there. So it's like, it's really easy. Like, nobody wants to show up to a bar full of old men that are vibing like, yeah, these chicks are hot. Like,
It's
nobody wants to show
that's-
up to
yeah.
that.
well, that's
event
that's
and be
why they
like,
have what ladies' nights on Wednesdays,
what
where
they-
you know,
I know.
right? You know,
That's what they call a
yeah,
sausage
yeah,
party.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
So-
it just sucks because, like, I think that's just my, that's the crowd that, like, flocks to me because I do, like, outlaw country and stuff. Like, there's not a lot of, like, women that are like, oh, I love this song. Like, Waylon Jennings. Like, it's
Right.
not like... So I kind of struggle with, that. And also, like, getting the younger crowd into it's really hard, too. And I think, I don't know, sometimes male bands, it's just, I see the way it is, and I'm just like, it's probably easier, but it also doesn't, I'm not trying to, like, make myself a victim right now.
Oh yeah, but I
No,
think
but you do deal with an extra
But I'm
level
like,
of crap.
it's definitely
than compared to
it's
guys.
definitely different.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and,
no question.
And like I said with the whole thing, like, oh, you can actually play that thing.
Yeah.
Like, people, even musicians, assume that. So it's
so.
like,
I think a big part is we were at the Kevin's Open Jam event, and to go through and to really plug into the Blues Society, right, is to help carry the torch, like younger group, right?
Yeah, you
how to
should
get
be a
out
member
there,
of that.
get out there and connect and and I think and then there's the we'll talk about here in a minute, but then that they had the recent jam at the open house, the public house, right? Getting out there and playing those events. I really we'll talk a little bit off air, but I was listening to some music this week, and I've got a very eclectic taste, and I was listening to some music, and it was a female fronted band, fairly new band. I'm like, man, I would love to be in a band that's very almost like, it sounded like 90s. The band Garbage, very much 90s kind of edgy kind of. I'll have to play it but it was this song she was singing was so much like. One of the lines in the song was like, I'm in a club with my friends, and some guy comes up and says, oh, you're my type. And I almost threw up in my mouth, right? I'm like, oh, that's a great line, from a female perspective of trying to just like, hey, I'm just here with my friends, leave me alone kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know how not to be in a, I've gone through recently the kick, Kevin, is like, I said, man, there's so many great songs to do with a female fronted band.
yeah.
80s stuff, Blondie, or I mean, to get people to get up and dance. I mean, I know it's cover stuff,
And to do it in your style, like in
Yeah.
an outlaw country style, you could really do some cool stuff.
Yeah. I think with the stuff that I do, it's honestly a lot of it is taking male songs and flipping it into female.
yeah,
Like a female perspective. But it's like it kind of works for today because like so many younger women are so like pissed off and like hate men. So it's like kind of great because I can do outlaw country and just switch it to girl to guy and like and it kind of works like in today's society. Like a lot of that stuff really actually kind of works. Like,
yeah.
Cool.
Man, damn, good thing I'm not in the dating pool at the moment because it'd be tough.
It's rough out there. Yeah.
Okay. So, anyway, so this is cool. It's a good,
No doubt.
Yeah, getting to know Bethany. I don't, I've only met you really. I know you've been on what we said, the Jams and Cocktails show, and and really we got a chance to chat on the other night at the jam. When after Bethany was done performing, and it's definitely
time.
cool. Yeah, good time. So, can you come back next week? We know we got a lot more to chat with you.
Heck
So,
yeah.
okay, so what do you got coming up here? Mid. Mid
This week?
mid-May time frame kind of thing.
Mid-May?
Yeah, time frame. Yeah. Where's your normal places to check out? Uh-oh.
You have a phone?
Your phone. Somebody stole the
Mid-May.
phone.
I don't know. I have oh gee. I think Guanabanas. I'm playing there with
Okay.
Hot Toddy
Okay.
with Amanda. Oh crap. I gotta look.
It's okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing if I'm not looking at my screen.
I didn't. I should have prepared for this. Sorry.
I just realized I think we're wearing the same shoes.
Heck yeah.
Just different sizes.
The
Yeah,
dudes.
different colors.
The dudes.
Hey,
The
dudes are great.
Yeah.
See, I was so anti Hey Dudes, and then I got them, and then I was like,
Now you're like, hey,
one
dude.
of us.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I must not be part of the club. I still haven't. I don't own a pair of Hey
okay.
Dudes.
So, mid-May would be like I got Guanabanas on the 10th.
Okay.
I got Hot Toddy at the Pearl in Port Salerno on the 15th. Let's see, what else do I got? Patty Max and Palm Beach Gardens on the 9th.
Okay.
That's a solo. Nah, I got some stuff.
Cool. All right. That's
I mean, I got more, but I'm like, I'm only going to plug the places that I know
Yeah.
are going to be like.
So where do people check out your stuff? We got a website or
Yes, BethanyLynnOfficial.com.
okay.
I got a website with all my stuff out there, songs, videos, show dates. Hopefully, I'll be coming out with some merch soon. I've been designing some stuff. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Very cool.
excited.
Awesome.
Patty Max is
Well,
close.
thanks for
Yeah.
performing at the Family Jam.
It
I
was
really
so much
appreciated
fun.
it. Yeah, it was great to have you there.
I had a blast.
I was excited because you came over to see your dad and you put your head over your shoulder and you're like, I'm coming to the jam, by the
Yeah.
way. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah. I know. I thought about it. I gave it some thought. I was like, you know what? I need to go out and like just do something fun. Like, stop living life where it's just work, 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 work. I'm like, I just want to go and just chill and hang out with some people and just do some music or whatever. So, like,
It takes a concerted effort to make sure you include that in your life.
Yeah.
It's worth the effort.
it's hard to make things fun.
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's easy to make things unfun,
Yeah.
but not hard to make things fun because we're wired for fun.
Yeah, you just got to add alcohol.
Well, there you go. It doesn't hurt.
Makes most things more
Yeah.
fun.
Kevin puts the FU in fun. So, all right. So, appreciate it. So, we're going to chat a little bit more next week. We'll get Bethany back here on the couch here hanging out with us.
Yeah.
So, what do you got coming up here? Want to anything to plug while you've got it here? So, we're mid-May time frame, right? Yeah.
Mid-May is
Yeah.
I'm in Europe now.
Oh, you should be in Europe right now while people are watching this?
Well, my first show is May 16th.
Okay.
Second show is May 17th.
Okay.
Third show is May 18th, etc.
So, if folks watched the previous episode where you did a performance of a Pharrell song, will they see that? I want to make sure we want to check that out.
I don't perform any Pharrell live on stage.
Okay.
But
you
he
don't,
does wear a really big hat sometimes.
I do.
He frequents rooms without roofs.
yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
our roofs with.
Yes, we all found out what it's like to be in a room without a roof.
Some of us did.
So, yeah, the UK tour is definitely happening. And actually, I got a call today. I may even get some side gigs in Spain.
Oh, shit.
España?
Oh, wow.
España.
No, España.
Okay.
Are you going to run with the Bulls?
No.
No. Bulls on the parade?
No. But we're going to be, I'm very excited.
Wow.
My first gig in the UK is at a notable biker bar called the Victoria. And we are going to have a blast.
Oh, boy. This is the first. Wait, is that gig number one?
Yeah, first night?
Keep an eye on him. He's got to make it through the whole.
I am excited to find out what bikerdom is like.
I was
in the
gonna
UK.
say, you said it's a biker bar? It's
It's
gonna
a
be a
biker bar.
freaking scooter bar. They're gonna
Well,
all roll up with their little scooters and
horse
be like,
and carriage
chip,
bar.
Cheerios.
Possibly. And this biker bar has
Top of the
camping.
evening to ya. They're
This-
gonna
yeah,
roll
right.
in with top hats.
He's never going to have to pay for any
This
drinks when he's
biker
there.
bar
You know
has
that.
camping, and I saw a picture of the campground. It's a parking lot where you can put your bus in, or your pop up or whatever. And I'm like, really? I guess it's a small. It's just like I think
they go to the bar and they're like, I'll have a bottle of water.
the bar.
Wait, what day is this on? What day of the week is this on?
Oi, it's Tuesday,
Friday night?
isn't
Oh,
it?
it's not a Tuesday?
Governor.
I'm not even going to try to do a British accent.
Do you know what?
because-
I'm really glad that I'm a paid member of the Kevin McLaughlin fan club. Right?
You
That
are
I'm
a subscriber
to the
Facebook page.
that I will get to see the
You will get to
performances.
see the performances
Yeah.
all streamed live. Only subscribers get to see that.
Yes.
All of my shows. It's an entire dollar.
Is it on
for the month.
YouTube?
Nope.
YouTube.
You can't find it on YouTube. You can only see all of my shows streamed live as they happen if you're a subscriber to the Facebook page of the Kevin McLaughlin Band. And it's a whole dollar.
I'm still laughing at YouTube.
YouTube.
We may have to separate YouTubes.
All right. So,
yes.
what a great episode.
yeah,
Bethany, it's awesome to have you here. I'm so glad you're coming back. next week.
Yeah,
guys.
I'm excited.
Go.
And
We're having fun
Get
here.
to drink
Yeah.
more.
Drink more. So definitely check out the podcast here on YouTube as you're watching and listening on Apple Podcasts. Hit the subscribe. Hit all the stuff.
But are you listening on Apple Podcast or are you watching us on YouTube?
Yeah, let us know. Subscribe wherever.
Play us on all the tabs at once.
Yeah, exactly.
Open multiple windows.
That would be fun.
Comment on the chats. Let us know, and hit us up on Patreon. We want to support the show, and obviously we're running out
Yes,
of
we
liquor.
have subscribers on Patreon
We do,
too.
we
How would someone subscribe and see the pantsless episodes?
So you go to patreon.com/riffs and rhythms
Go to
there.
Ghost
So
on the Ox.
right here. So Ghost in the Ox podcast.
This is
Don't
the
worry.
unrated version on
Yeah, we just,
the Pornhub version.
yeah. The
Yes.
reason why we sit
You
behind
have
the
to-
table is because certain selected episodes are pantsless.
And we have special edition. If you become a member of our Patreon page, we will send you special 3D glasses.
Yes, the
and
under
then
table
they'll take
dangle
the
cam.
tablecloth off.
Yeah, the under table dangle cam.
Only Kevin's.
Get the dangle in 3D.
Yes.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
know. I have to.
subscribe now
I
and
have
you
to
get
say
a
this.
pair of 3D
I have to tell you
Yeah,
this.
we had some basketball players that were subscribing, and now they wear those plastic face masks to prevent it getting poked in the face.
So this guy was. I saw this cartoon clip and say the guy come out and speaking with a British accent and say they come out and say, "I told you to you need to tickle the Elmo." I'm fucking this up, right? Yeah. All right, we'll
Tickle
tell
the Elmo.
No,
You
hold
just
on.
got flagged by the FBI.
You have to give Elmo.
Jim
Oh
Henson's
no,
estate
no,
is going to sue us now.
This guy.
You got no. What is his boss told me? He goes, "You need to give Elmo 2 tickles before putting him in the box." He goes, "Oh, 2 tickles. I've been doing it all wrong." And then they pull out a Elmo with 2 hanging balls out of the box.
To tickle me balls, Elmo.
Yeah,
2
this
testicles.
This is definitely.
You got to
getting
give
flagged.
Elmo 2 testicles.
This is definitely getting flagged.
Wow.
So anyway, thanks for tuning in,
He's
hanging
on a
out with
watch
us in this
list.
podcast here. So check out riffsandrhythms.com, all the other stuff. Check out the links and all the other things. You know what to do. So
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, ready?
Thanks for tuning in.
So-
Come back next week where we have a exciting, fun-filled episode. Where we left off was Bethany Lynn had quit the industry due to a bad review, and she brought herself back in. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen,
And we tell you how she got out of the Yelp jail.
the resolution for
Yelp
this horrific
jail.
cliffhanger will be resolved.
I got canceled.
Cancel culture. Cheers.